Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Newbridge for the final of the Senior Championship between the 96 winners Round Towers and the holders Clane. A rather belated final due to numerous replays and involvement in senior championships and whatever, but it's a bitterly cold afternoon and conditions very soft. With me to watch the action during the afternoon is a man who knows most about everybody out here on this pitch, and of course involved with the Kildare Senior Championship journey that ended up in a little bit of disappointment, but a very satisfactory year, is John Crofton. Well, the Towers team warming up down here on the right. In goal is Mick Levy. The full-back line is Kieran Ryan at full-back, Brian Kennedy right back, Frankie McMahon left full. Centre half is Glenn Ryan, now an all-star, and right alongside him is another all-star, Brian Lacey. Two great success stories of the Kildare Senior Championship. And left half is Tom Bean. Midfield partnership of Leonard Donlan and Derek Marr that played so well against Sarsfields to get to this final. Then we've got the half-forward line of Noel Donlan, centre half. Liam Ryan is left half forward, and right half forward is young Paul Waters. And the front line, John Deegan, who also was a big success in the semi-final at full forward. And the two corner forwards who played such an important role are Shane Daly, who will be the free taker, and Ian Moore. In opposition, of course, the holders Clane, who have got such a sprinkling of the county team in their panel. In goal is Shane Farrell, full back is John Finn, Brian Connolly is right back, Brian Gleeson left back. Centre half, Willie McCreary. On either side, Brian Cowell and Joe Coonan. The midfield partnership of Brian Murphy and Paul McCormack. Martin Lynch, who's wearing number 11 but may act as the full forward. On either side of Martin Lynch is the two players on either side of Martin Lynch listed 10 and 12. The half forwards, Brian O'Donovan and David Cafferty. Dennis O'Connell will wear number 14. Michael Cuniff, 15, and Eddie McCormack, who is operating at left full forward. And of course, amongst that Clane team at full back was John Finn, another all-star. So we've got three all-stars on the pitch this afternoon, and John, who filled into that full back berth on All-Ireland final day, and that wasn't foreign to him. Well, John, looking forward to a good final, and you, of course, been involved with Sarsfields. A bit disappointed they're not here, but we've got the winners of 96 and the holders Clane. Good match in prospect.
Absolutely, Des. I feel that the two best teams certainly on the field of play this year are in opposition here. Atrocious weather conditions, unfortunately, with such a good sprinkling of inter-county talent here. The weather conditions really is a spoiled sport here, with driving rain and very heavy underfoot conditions. The Newbridge pitch would be quite soft at the best of times in winter time, but looking forward to a very good contest.
Well, we mentioned there in the build-up three all-stars, and that augurs very, very well for the county team. Of course, we don't have to go over their great success, but John Finn, Glenn Ryan, and of course Brian Lacey, three very, very, very good footballers indeed.
Yeah, I mean, three defenders on the team, three outstanding success stories for this year. Glenn Ryan has a proven track record at this stage. John Finn, I suppose, could be said that he's a late developer, has really come into his own this year, played outstanding football with all of his immediate opponents taken off up to All-Ireland final time, where he slotted in at full-back for us in that match. And of course Brian Lacey, who again, he's new to our scene here in Kildare, but an outstanding year.
And of course the depth and talent on the county team that the Clane team have out here in front of us. We've Willie McCreary, Brian Murphy, Martin Lynch, and of course Eddie McCormack. Clane would probably have to start favourites, and they are favourites.
Clane would be favourites on the basis of the strength and depth that they have got. Probably by their standards, they haven't set the world on fire this year. They've struggled in a few of their matches where they probably would have expected to win more readily, and certainly losing to Fatherman and Gales in the Leinster Club title was a setback. But they've had time now to get their feet back on the ground again and have a proper preparation for this.
Well, of course, we mentioned earlier on the conditions absolutely atrocious for everybody. Normally a showpiece of the GAA season, the county final, and well, for everybody concerned, players and spectators, that we can hear the rain absolutely bouncing off the top of the stand here.
Yeah, that's going to be a big issue today. The wind is another issue. There's quite a strong breeze. It seems to be blowing from the scoreboard end into the town goals. So presumably we're going to see quite quite amount of play into this town goals in both halves of the game. But as I've already said, the underfoot conditions, that there's good covering of grass here in Newbridge, but Newbridge is not a great sod for winter football, so it'll be very difficult for players to hold their feet, and fielding of the ball will be very, very difficult today.
Well, unfortunately, I'm sure there are going to be numerous mistakes with this very soggy pitch and a wet ball, but hopefully we look forward to a very entertaining final between, as you say, two of the best teams deserving to be in the final here this afternoon. And we've already previously mentioned that both are the last two winners here, and of course Towers, after many, many years, will be out now to prove that it wasn't a flash in the pan after maybe a poor defence last year.
That's right. I think Towers' preparation in '97 pre-championship wasn't what possibly it could have been. They suffered injuries coming up to it, and indeed Glenryan missed out on their first round title defence last year. It's been a very curious year in many respects when the championship was actually run off in Kildare. There was no competitive action per se before the All-Ireland final, and I think Towers have settled into their campaign very, very quickly. Did very, very well under desperate conditions first round against Johnstown Bridge. Went on then and beat Kilcock, and certainly over the two games against Sarsfields they showed that they have got the capacity to win this year's title.
Plenty of key issues out there. Any one you're looking forward, any confrontation you're particularly looking forward to that might possibly be a match-winning performance?
Well, it's always very difficult when you're looking at a Clane team sheet in the last couple of years to predict where they will actually play. I think the key thing for Towers is the midfield performance of Lenny Donlan and Diego Marr. Certainly they did very, very well against Sarsfields, against Niall Buckley and Dermot Hurley. They'll need a repeat of that, and to repeat it for the hour here. Conditions, it won't be very easy to field clean ball anyway, but typically Clane tend to dominate for periods with Brian Murphy, and whether it's William McCreary or Paul McCormick or Martin Lynch partnering him. I think if Towers can force the issue there and not allow Clane to get clean possession, that they'll be halfway home.
Well, both teams had narrow escapes on the way to the final, John. One with your team, Sarsfields, and of course Clane got a real fright as well.
That's right. Towers found themselves needing a score in extra time to force a replay with Sarsfields, and won quite convincingly the second day, although there was only 2 points in the scoreboard. Clane similarly lost 11 points, actually an 11-point lead against Leixlip in the quarter-final stage, which will actually be of some consolation to Towers, because in that second half here in Newbridge, Leixlip actually scored 13 points. They got no goal but scored 13 points, which shows what can be done if you can wrest midfield supremacy from Clane.
So midfield could probably be the key then to this match. Of course, it's always a very important role in any GAA match, the amount of ball that can be won at midfield. And of course, Shawnee Dre, who is the Round Towers club captain, he's unfortunately on the bench, suffered a couple of injuries during the year. And Glenryan's brother Kieran is the man who's going to lead the parade down here in front of us. And Brian Murphy, of course, on whom some great scores came from him during the year, particularly that goal, that sealed victory in the championship that brought Kerry towards the All-Ireland. Brian is striding out number 9, leading the Clane team down here as the crowd respond to the players as they head out here on the march towards the final few minutes before the 1998 Senior Championship for the Dermot Burke Cup. Well, the Patrician Primary School band have been out here braving the conditions. Brave young children they are, and gave the crowd some entertainment before the teams came out. They head across the halfway line, and standing over in the middle of the field is the referee and his two linesmen. And the referee today is Tommy Byrne from Allen Wood, and it is Tommy's first senior final. Tommy had charge of the match that Towers won under the floodlights in atrocious conditions at Allen Wood, and maybe that might stand them in good stead here this afternoon, because it's going to be very, very soft, and the rain is continuing to pour down, and well, solid handling of the ball is going to be very important, but also very, very difficult indeed. Brian Murphy in the familiar white shirt, of course the same colours as the county, and Clane this afternoon will be well referred to as the Lily Whites, but I don't think they'll be Lily Whites for too long, with the muck that will be pouring down here on top of them when they skid around here and the challengers come flying in. But let's hope that it's a very good sporting game. 3 Ryans on the Round Towers team. Glenn, of course, needs no introduction, and the other two Ryans, Kieran up front and his brother Liam, make up a solid representation of the Ryan household for this Round Towers team. Now the patrician band just lead the teams right over towards the stands here in front of us, and very shortly I'm sure the players would just love to get on with the action. It's absolutely miserable out there. The rain is pouring down. The linesman under the stand side just coming over to pick up his position. So very shortly now we will see Kieran Ryan and Brian Murphy make their way over to Tommy Byrne for the toss, and we'll be anxiously watching to see what way the Clane team will line out and pick up their positions. Solid appreciation for the patrician boys primary band down here in front of us. They've braved the conditions, and Towers just meet in a huddle down here in front of us. Last few words of encouragement as Clane move off to defend on our right, and here is Aaron Naveen. So it's almost time to go, John.
Almost time to go. Same guys just lining out there. Just at the stand at the minute, they seem to be lining up very much as they are in the programme. It's very doubtful exactly where they will actually start the game. So they're going to start in those positions, or whether they actually partake in those positions remains to be seen.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of movement and maybe some early changes, but we'll try and keep up with it as best we can. And I'm sure Martin Lynch, although lining out, we believe he could have been the full forward, but wearing the number 11 may actually drift in towards the full forward position. And Ian Moore just going down here wearing number 15. And Will McCreary is wearing the number 6 for centre half. We thought there could be a change there. But very, very shortly now, positions have been taken up. The friendly handshakes have been exchanged. And we will look forward now to the action for the senior final, just about to take place now. And the referee